Hi, everybody, and welcome to Reality Buzz TV, where we talk about all things reality TV shows and all things reality TV show stars. So, listen, you guys, Mpumelelo did an interview with the Basement podcast, and we have some things to talk about because he was out here calling Tirelo a soldier. Most of you are too young to even remember phela thina back in the days sasesikoleni uvele uzwe nje umsindo sekuthiwa isoja hawu isoja niyayazi lento we nani kuphi nina ngo-1994 ama-parents enu ayengakashelani ngisho ukushelana. So that's what I was thinking about. Konje kwakuthiwani soja soja isoja bathi isoja. Hey guys, anazi lutho kwake kwaba mnandi eSouth Africa. Uvela uthi usangena nje eklasini ekuseni uzwe sekuthi isoja. Awuyazi ukuthi siyakhala siyagoduka namhlanje. Kodwa kwakumnandi uMandela engakaphuma ejele. Waphumelani? Yazi bafethu sekuyabhora ke manje. Anyway, you guys, that's what Mpumelelo is calling Tirelo. At first, you guys, when he said it, social lelo, I was like, what? And I was like, no, right, but it's social like ngempela, you guys. I mean, it's social nje lilandela. Yabo, lihamba la uthi khanjwa khona lilandela umthetho. If you say shoot, it shoots. If you say sit down, angithi nabona, hlala phansi. Hlala phansi. It's so much ngempela, guys. I actually think ukuthi if Mpumelelo really wants lento yesithembu, I think Lona Tirelo is actually a good candidate for number one, because you need a yes sir, yes my husband, yebo baba for number one, because of course yes, Mpumelelo says that he wants 3 wives, but he might change his mind. He might want 10. So you just need somebody that is going to go with the flow, okay? And the way that he describes Tirelo, he says, Tirelo is more about, listen, I love you, so whatever you want to do, mina ngithanda wena. Uyabona leyo nto, guys? Yeah. Khona la kwaphambana khona with uLukuzana. Tirelo kahle Tirelo bafanele ngabe ilabo mama bamaZulu bale emakhaya oyebo baba uyabona nje. So isoja ke usho njalo ukuthi when he gets a new girlfriend, he actually introduces the girlfriend to Tirelo, and Tirelo vets the girlfriend, okay? You know, she'd be like feeling hand, be like, girl, are you ready? This is what we are going to be dealing with, the STDs, the STIs, okay? HIV tests, okay? Are you ready? You might have some itching places in your body now and then. So are you ready? And then the girl is like, I'm ready for the STD. I'm ready for the STI. Bring it on, girl, okay? She'll be like, are you ready to take all of these vitamins, the antibiotics, all of that? Because we have to take that all the time, okay? Because when he is sick, we all are sick, okay? And the girl is like, yes, I'm ready. And then I'm fucking WhatsApp group, okay? Listen, but on a serious note, you guys, I do feel like Tirelo is a good candidate for number one wife for Umamkhulu. I feel like maybe Umusamselegu is not likely to support that idea, because I do feel like deep down they do want a Zulu girl as the first wife. I don't know why, I don't know, okay? But they do want a Zulu girl. But if it wasn't like that, that is the person that they should take as the number one, Mpumelelo, okay? And you guys, I do feel like they love each other, okay? Do they respect each other, guys? I'm like, Mpumelelo doesn't even know what respect is, because I do feel like he doesn't know the definition of respect. He confuses a woman that speaks up, a woman that expresses how they feel, as being disrespectful, okay? However, when it comes to the respect, for him, respect is supposed to come from a woman, okay? There is no respect that he's supposed to give himself, okay? So he has a very wrong definition of respect. Naboge, these interviewers, I feel like you already have Mpumelelo. Ask him tough questions about his treatment of the women that have been in his life. They mabembiza kuma-interviews bavele babe amafeni, angazi nabo-ke they'll be kissing izingqeka Mpumelelo interview instead of asking really tough questions, you guys. Now, one thing that Mpumelelo has done is really to learn from the best when it comes to the lying, okay? He lies just like his father. He will say something, Mpumelelo, ayisho engazi ukuthi it's written kulawo qembu. You remember when Moses went to ehlathini entabeni eyokhuleka for 40 days? You remember Moses? And then Moses was given him Ishumi written on whatever it is, okay, on something or something. The 10 Commandments, okay. So sometimes we'll be saying something like it's written. 10 Commandment number 11, I am going to marry a virgin, and the virgin is going to be Unosipho. That is the reason he introduced Unosipho to us, was that this is the virgin that is going to be number 1. This is the one that is going to be Umakoti Wedlozi. But now that Unosipho has broken up with him, which I think this is what happened because they unfollowed each other, okay? Now that Unosipho is no longer around, he went back to Qombela Moses. He erased it. What? If you look there, Qombela Moses, kumhlophe laphayana, it's white. Wathatha Tipex wasula, waseyabhala kabusha. What? No, it's going to be a virgin, but it's not the virgin that you know. We look very young, but we were not born yesterday, if you get what I mean, okay? Because we remember very, very well what you said. We can still go back to the episodes, in fact, okay, and watch it because it's still, the episode is still on Catch Up. And it's also here on YouTube. We can go back and watch, okay? Now, he's changing the whole thing, you guys. He's saying, yes, he's still going to take the virgin, but it was never Unosipho. I mean, it was never, ever Unosipho. You know, I'm like, he has really learned, because that's what Mpumelelo says. That's how Mpumelelo says things. He would say things like, go seek, oh, this is what happens. And then when something doesn't suit him, he changes it. And then he's like, you know what? Pela, there is another usiko that is like this. But it's just that lolu siko, lolu, it's opposite of this, you know. It's a new culture that is opposite the other culture. Now I'm going with this one. And then now he goes to Moses, sees Ukwembe, and delete and writes again. Okay, so Mpumelelo is doing that with this temp. I really feel like, you guys, their lives to us will make so much more sense if they were real and saying, listen, we like abantu besifazane and we don't think we can do it just being married to one woman. So that's the reason we like his temple. But this is just how I want to do Esami's temple. I just want to marry a virgin, okay? You know, I just want to have the first wife as that one that was a virgin. I feel like that, okay? Don't be telling us about amasiko nani because later on you change and say something different, okay? Listen, you guys, these interviewers, Basement Podcast, they do not watch Uthando Nesithembu, they do not watch Ingane Temple. And I feel like once you book the guest, you better go and watch some of the things that they've done on the show so that you can ask the relevant questions. I was disappointed by that, you guys. So obviously, while we thought that maybe next season we were going to see Unosipho, Kokwilobola and all of that, that's not going to happen because it wasn't her anyways, okay? Listen, and then they do get into, you know, because I think the mistake that we make as South Africans is that we assume that just because umndeni wakamselegu banesithembu basesithenjini, that they know more about isithembu than we might possibly know. So everything that they say, no matter how ridiculous it is, people take it as the Bible, okay? Mpumelelo was out there saying that the problem with men is that they are scared of women. This is where I was like, no, this boy actually doesn't know what respect is as far as a man respecting a woman, okay? When men say that they don't want to bring another woman to their wives, that is not because they are scared of their wives. That is because they have some respect for their wives. For him, if you are not able to bring another woman to your wife, it's because you are scared of your wife. No, 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 no. You respect your wife. You respect her feelings. You are considerate. You know she won't take the bullshit. So you're like, I ain't gonna do it. And I also love her and I want to keep her as my wife. So I'm not gonna do the BS. Okay? That's what you are supposed to do. He hasn't learned that, but he's not gonna learn it because it doesn't exist. It doesn't exist with his father. You know, when a woman expresses how they feel, that is them being disrespectful. A man is just supposed to go out and do whatever he wants. If he brings the mess home, you are supposed to accept it as a woman. If you don't, you are being disrespectful. If a man doesn't bring the BS home, he is just scared of his wife, because as a man, you should be able to bring the BS home, because if you don't bring the BS, you are scared of your wife. Okay? That's basically what he was saying. Okay? All right, we are supposed to just accept the BS. When they come home with the BS, take the BS, okay? Because you're not supposed to speak up. You're not supposed to express your feelings. You are not supposed to tell them off, okay? That's what he is saying, you guys. Now he gets to talk about Uvuyo, okay? Of course, the interviewer doesn't even know who Vuyo is, who Tirelo is, who Vicki is, but he was just mentioning Vicki, okay? He had no idea. Ufly did not know. Tirelo did not know. Vuyo did not. Because there isn't any specific question that was directed to Mpumelelo about Vuyo, Mpumelelo about Tirelo, or even Mpumelelo, the one that has left, or even Sipo, the one that has left. Because when you speak about women, you actually don't even have to call them by name, because they don't matter that much. All you need to do when you are speaking about a woman, just say the one that is a virgin, the one that is umtwana, the one that is closer. That's just all you need to do. Why even bother remembering women's names? Because we don't have time for that, okay? We are busy here trying to figure out how many wives we are going to take, so we don't care if we call them by name. That is exactly what the owners of that podcast or the interviewers in that podcast were doing. Okay, they didn't even bother remembering the girls' names so that the questions could be more specific and they could make more sense. Okay, even Mpumelelo himself, sometimes at some point I was like, does he even remember his girlfriend's names? Doesn't even remember that there's Vuyo, Tirelo, and Nosipo. Even him is referring them that way. The virgin, the Twana, the what? Guys. Anyway, this is what he said about Uvuyo. He says, go to Uvuyo was the one that the problem with Vuyo was that she was too controlling. She used her having a child as a form of a hold on him in order to control him. Okay, so that made her ukutavuse ikhanda. Okay, listen, you guys, I'm not gonna deny that Uvuyo might have been trying to control the situation, but I feel like with Mpumelelo, there are big possibilities that it was just Uvuyo trying to express how she was feeling about the situation, because you're not about to marry us, like 10 of us, and I'm not going to say how I feel about that situation, okay? He says that there was a point where they had issues in their relationship. He apologized to Uvuyo, they got back together, but things were never the same again, you guys. So he says, Mpumelelo, he used the virgin story on Uvuyo to sort of kick her out of the relationship. He knew Uvuyo was not going to accept the virgin. So instead of just saying, listen, girl, I loved you, but I no longer love you, I don't think this is going to work. Like we do, the adults do when they break up, okay? I want to take a virgin as my first wife. I have my own reasons, and I feel that if that does not make you happy and that's not the plan you have for your life, for your future, you should be free to live a relationship, okay? I cannot give you what you need. So can we just go our separate ways? Because that is what an adult would have done. Just a proper breakup, okay? But he says, no, he brought the virgin so that he can kick Uvuyo off of a relationship, okay? That's what he says, okay? So he says he was never intending to take Uvuyo as number one, which is another lie, because Mpumelelo was there by season 1 of Ingane's Temple, already calling Uvuyo as umamkulu, already saying Uvuyo needed to set an example for the ones that were going to follow her. As umamkulu, he needed to a certain example. So did you think that we forgot? We watch the show more than you watch yourself. So of course we remember. And of course we do have the clips, honey. Okay. So he says that he had no intentions of making Uvuyo number one. So the virgin thing for him, the virgin story was a way for him to push Uvuyo out of a relationship. Okay. As if Uvuyo wasn't going to understand if he just came and said, listen, I don't think this is going to work anymore. So goodbye. Okay. And then he clarifies the Vicky situation that Vicky was his friend. But he wants us to believe that him and Vicky were never together. Vicky was just his friend and he introduced Vicky to Vuyo, but they were never really dating. I'm like, listen, we look very young and fresh, but we're not so young. So that is BS, okay? No girl is going to fight that much to expose you and embarrass you when you never really went to the crooked places with them. I'm like, the kids are going to believe you, okay? But maybe that is your target market because some of us know that that is the BS, okay? So you guys, listen, I did say Tirelo is the soldier. I agree with that statement because I do feel like she is in line with what Mpumelelo wants, okay? And doesn't challenge, she doesn't challenge Mpumelelo, she doesn't question Mpumelelo. She holds back on what she really feels, on what she really thinks. This is my opinion from watching the show. She is a perfect one to actually take as number one. So I feel like if Mpumelelo is really honest about wanting number one to be the person that support his BS, then that is Tirelo is the one, you know. And I just wouldn't understand if he still goes with the virgin thing, which he is saying he's still going to do, because he is a perfect person that is going to support you in your BS. Just take her as cool. What is the problem? Okay, unless she's the one that says that she does not want the Mamkulu position. Okay, she's already doing the vetting for you. Okay. I was actually telling one of my friends, and I was like, you know what? Like, I'm tired of you telling me about these relationships that don't work out for you. Okay. So when you get a girl, just give me a call. Okay. Just describe her to me. I'll ask the right questions and all of that. Ask you the questions about her. And then I'm going to tell you, you know, the possibilities of the relationship working out, because you're getting into these relationships that I already know they're not going to work out, but I let you be. So I was like, I'm done with it. Like, I'm tired of hearing about, things that are not working out. Now, when you get into a relationship, tell me about it. I'll tell you if it might possibly work, okay? I need to start a business, relationship vetting, whatever, You guys can bring, the profiles to me. This one, forget it. It's not going to work. So, yes, you guys, listen. I feel like when he was asked, this is referring to Nosipo, when he was asked to Kuti, is she still a virgin? Because Vuyo was over there saying, listen, if that girl was a virgin, Mpumelelo has already at the virginities. Is it many virginities? The virginity. And I was like, yeah, I think Vuyo is right, okay? I didn't agree with a lot of things Vuyo said and did this season, but I agreed with that, okay? Nosipo is no longer a virgin wherever she is. Okay, she might say she is, but I don't think so. So they asked him, Mogoti, he says yes, but it was not a convincing yes. Okay, I think he wasn't convincing. I think he's not convincing himself because he knows that it's not right. Now, here's the thing that I would like to know. I would like to know what caused the breakup between her and Nosipo. If I had to make an assumption, I would say that he wasn't giving her time, because just the duration of them shooting the show, we saw him go and see Nosipo once, and then the next time they were going to Lwanle's party, and then that was it. You don't see them being together even on social media, and these are people that are posting all the time. We see him just spend time with Tirelo. I feel like it might have been the issue, of him not giving the relationship time. Okay, but it would still be interesting if they brought Unosipo next season and she tells us, she can be the surprise for the next season, where she comes and just tells us what happened with the relationship. Anyway, you guys, listen. If I'm being honest, this interview was very boring because all of the questions that they asked were not the questions that we wanted to know about, but it still gave me a little bit of something to talk about. But I think that they could have done much, much more, in terms of asking the relevant questions. But here it is, you guys. The soldier is soldiering on, okay? I was gonna be mad. I was like, what? You called me? Kodwa babizana kanjalo Mpumelelo noTirelo. Babizana kanjani kambi? Social no Skoko Sam. But it's Coco ne soldier, yabo. Skoko soldier. She won't be mad. But I will be mad about it, okay? Anyway, you guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Please like it before we're gonna share it with your friends, with your family, and even with strangers. Nginethanda kakhulu.